I'm Katelyn Smith. We are right along Broad Street where the parade is going to come right by here at 11 o'clock this morning. Some fans out here as early as 3 this morning getting ready for this. Many of them from the Susquehanna Valley as well. In fact, some of them joining us right now. We've got Savannah and friends from Lancaster County who have been here since what time?
Like 3:30, 4.
And that's the point, though. You got to get here early to get a good spot along this route. What are you anticipating for today? I know you were here for the send-off, and were you here for the party after the Super Bowl?
No, we didn't make it down here for after that, but we watched it on the news and we saw it was crazy, so we know what we're expecting today.
We have team coverage for you all along this parade route as we start to see some of the police escort coming down Broad Street right now, which is where we are standing. The parade starts at Broad and Pattison, about 3 blocks from here, and then wraps around in front of City Hall and ends at the Art Museum. And that's where we have Thusmeen Mahfouz, Michael Fuller, sports director Bethany Miller, and also Jacob Hall. We also have Sarah Metz, part of our coverage this morning. So we are ready to bring you this entire parade live throughout the morning.
So they are starting at the link where they practice, where they play, and we hear that they are already on the buses and heading our way. We have crowds of thousands of people where we are. The city of Philadelphia expecting at least 1 million people to be part of this celebration that is going to be lasting well into the afternoon and the evening. Right now, the bus is pulling onto Broad Street, heading north and heading our way, Katelyn.
It is so exciting, very similar to the 2018 parade, and that it's following the same route, and that as many people are likely here. We also have people climbed up on buildings, standing on top of garbage trucks as the parade continues down for the 59th Super Bowl winners, the champion Eagles. And there's no school today.
Yeah, a lot of kids in the crowd.
Just come here and enjoy it, and boy, are they doing that.
A very special moment for Philadelphia. Only the second time they have ever had the chance to have a Super Bowl victory parade. And my goodness, has the city and fans from the Susquehanna Valley and beyond showed up full force to cheer this team on.
About a half an hour ago, we saw school buses come down Broad Street carrying what we were told were special guests. So we saw a couple
of all ages
waving out the windows of those school buses. Yeah, so they'll be heading over at 2 o'clock to speak at the Art Museum. And in the meantime, we're all just waiting for the open air buses that you saw turning onto Broad Street and hopefully coming our way here very soon while all of these crowds are waiting with excitement.
And that will be our first glimpse, the fans' first glimpse of the Lombardi Trophy back in Philadelphia right in person. So it's going to be fun to see. I'm curious to see who's going to be hoisting that trophy up by the time the buses reach us.
And you know, someone who was here on Sunday night right after the Eagles won that Super Bowl was Sarah Metz. She was live in Philadelphia then, and she's here with us today, Sarah. And we met up with Claudia and Carly, who are sisters from York earlier. And Claudia's going to come out and join us right now. Don't jump over the barricades. Oh my goodness. Claudia, tell us about your trip here from York and what the parade was like for you to watch.
It was absolutely amazing to watch. We left at 5:40 this morning, so we were up bright and early. My sister and our family friend, we got here, and we've been standing hanging out since 8.
We do have some details that we're developing overnight that we can fill you in on. We are standing here outside of the Northern York County Regional Police Department, where it was 3 officers from this department that were killed, and the memorial is placed on freshly planted grass that is still growing here because this building is so new. You can see the flowers in the video. We can show you a little bit closer there. There's also a sign that says "End of Watch RIP," and there are 2 flags placed in the L of the word police on that Northern York County Regional Police Department sign. We also know that there is a letter from a member of the community saying how much this hurts the entire community and that the community is praying for the officers here. Now, so far, investigators have not released the name of the shooter or any of the members of law enforcement who are involved, but they do tell us that state police are continuing this investigation still today. And for more on that piece of the information from North Codorus Township at that scene, that's where we find News 8's Jacob Hunziker this morning. Jacob?
JL, News 8.
Thank you, Jacob. And police did say that this is a spread out investigation, that there are multiple locations that are involved in this. We do know those sheriff's deputies, as Jacob has been talking about, are at Wellspan York Hospital, and that's where you find News 8's Gabrielle Thomas this morning. Gabrielle? Gabrielle, thank you. And according to the Northern York County Regional Police Department's website, there are 41 officers here and 69 staff members altogether, including the chief and other leaders in this police department. And they are all mourning loss of 3 of their own. Matt and Regina. And we're just wrapping up that special report from 9 o'clock last night when the helicopter and that plane from Wichita, Kansas crashed over the Potomac River. Now a large response there trying to recover bodies. That's already happened in some cases. 64 people on that plane. We know 3 people on the military helicopter. We also did check in with Harrisburg International Airport just to see if this is affecting any flights in our area. Everything listed on time. Now, HIA flies into Dulles, and we do know that at the time of the crash or around right after the crash happened, some flights were diverted from other airports to Dulles, so we wondered if there would be kind of a ripple effect, but it looks like HIA is all on time coming to and from the D.C. area. And we also know at 7:30 this morning, that's when investigators are expected to give another briefing. We just heard from the NBC News that they're trying to figure out what actually caused this collision, so maybe we'll learn more about that at 7:30.
We are breaking into coverage because today West York Borough Police Officer Andrew Duarte will be laid to rest. We heard Ann talking about the Northern York County Regional Police Officer who was hurt in this. A Springettsbury Township Police Officer was also hurt in this, but perhaps many people were not hurt in this because of the actions of Officer Andrew Duarte. We heard Scott Perry talking this week about how his last actions, Officer Duarte's last actions, were to pull another person out of harm's way. So just incredible, the service that he has given to our community. Jessica Briner was the ICU nurse who was held hostage during this whole ordeal, and her son, Jaden Huff, had talked to us this week, and he said that she does plan to be at the funeral today. You can see the aerial view here of this procession as all of those vehicles are making their way. Again, they are heading to Living Word Community Church in Red Lion. We see you all there. Thank you so much for joining us live this morning. And Joanna, I know you said you're going to speak for your family here. What was it like to see the Pope lying in state?
It was pretty moving. It was it's as you can see, it's very, very crowded, and so it was pretty neat to see and hear the countless different countries represented. It's truly a universal church.
Where are you right now? And can you pan around and show us a little bit about how it looks right now?
Sure, it's super busy. We're actually right outside of St. Peter's Square. So you can see there's lots of busyness going on.
How long did you have to wait in line to see the Pope lying in state with kids along? They had to pack their patience.
So how long would you say it took us last night? Like maybe an hour and a half to get through the line?
Yeah, but that was...
I was actually surprised how fast that was, really. I thought it was going to be much longer.
That was pretty late. It was like at 10 o'clock.
It was 10 o'clock at night, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It is busy there all hours. So many people paying their respects to the late Pope Francis.
That's like it was 9+.
9+ may sound advanced for this 7-year-old.
It was a lot of work of doing this.
But Decker Murphy knows all about putting in the work.
You want him to be a kid, but at the same time, you don't want him to hurt himself or cause damage.
His parents first noticed Decker was having trouble going up and down steps.
We have to put 41 on it.
And soon learned he was missing the protein needed to rebuild his muscle fibers.
Every single day, we don't have a cure or a treatment. His muscle is breaking down and are wasting away.
A little more than a year ago, doctors diagnosed Decker with Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
I think literally all but passed out because I just knew that our world was changing.
And it was a change that, in a way, Decker's dad, Dan, has been through before. His own dad died from cancer when Dan was even younger than Decker.
I'm eating more of these.
Dan is now a home builder, and that's something Decker has already taken an interest in as well.
You know, not having the opportunity to grow up with your dad and not potentially the opportunity to grow up with your son really hit me hard.
About a year before his diagnosis, Decker started making blueprints of a home that he would like to build with his dad. His dad now knows, though, that someone with Decker's diagnosis typically loses the ability to walk in their preteens and loses their battle in their mid-20s.
So all those dreams were dashed pretty quickly.
But their determination was not.
It's a little harder than to win.
Decker, who just understands that he has special muscles, has now learned to ride his bike without training wheels.
That was huge. That was a goal of ours we didn't think we were going to reach, and we did.
Yes, there's still medicine morning and night, monthly doctor visits, and leg braces he has to wear to bed. But for a kid who just wants to follow in his father's footsteps,
You're not getting any later.
his family is going to help him every step of the way.
He's just a trooper.
A trooper with some special muscles to show for it. Katelyn Smith, WGAL News 8.
Oh, geez, you really dug deep.
A lifetime of shared memories.
That must have been before Kate was born, or Colin.
Whitney Baker and Lauren Huff's families
Oh, my goodness.
were friends before they were even born.
We went to elementary school, middle school, high school, college.
And through that came Lauren's health struggles. In elementary school, she needed a kidney transplant. Her mom donated hers. Then 24 years later, in 2015, she needed another.
We always assumed my sister would be the donor, and so did she. And she went and did all of her testing, and turned out that she couldn't donate.
When that happened, it was kind of like, oh, there's not like a backup plan.
Yeah, we didn't have a backup plan.
That's when Whitney, a teacher, coach, and mother of two at the time, made plans.
I just knew that it was going to be me.
Whitney was a match.
I mean, she saved my life, and I wasn't even expecting that, so I will be forever thankful for her.
Life-saving for Lauren and life-changing for Whitney. She went on to have two more children and got to know the kidney donor community across the country.
I love that picture.
Now she's proving post-surgery, you can still lead a very active life. Whitney is part of the Renal Warriors. Renal means anything related to the kidneys, and last year, the National Kidney Registry sponsored her team in a 200-mile relay in Colorado.
I didn't really know that there was a whole network out there.
And you'll notice there are still blank pages in this book, and Whitney says she already has plans to fill them.
She's training again, this time for a 300-mile rat race over 4 days with the Renal Warriors that includes running, biking, and kayaking in Lake Placid, New York.
You can do all of the things with one kidney.
A strong body and an even stronger friendship. Although Lauren says these memories won't be shared.
In her group, there's one donor recipient pair, and I told her that will never be us, but, because I'm not a runner.
Say never.
But I'm very happy for her.
In Cumberland County, Katelyn Smith, WGAL News 8.
This is pretty tall corn.
Keegan Yuri got into farming right out of high school.
I'll just have to watch the terrain down here. It gets a little steep.
But this spot
It was a learning experience when I came up here for the first time.
is unlike any other plot of land he harvests.
Yeah, it was definitely different. Never thought I'd be doing it.
He sometimes even takes his daughters, Ella and Emmy, along for the ride. But this is not the only ride.
I like going across the river.
This kind of farming begins on a barge,
Now today's going to be a challenge. It's very windy.
where the amount of rain doesn't just keep the crops growing. It helps Robert Huntsberger keep the barge floating.
When I get lined up with this tree, I know it's time to drop the ramps.
For 1 week each year, he takes trucks with Rexroth Farms to and from Hill and Shelley Islands on the Susquehanna River, bringing them over empty
Not good?
and back filled with grain. Robert's been behind the wheel for 20 years, and he's about the same age now, 73, as his dad was when we did a similar story on him almost 30 years ago.
Yeah, I think he'd like it.
And as you might imagine, there have been some mishaps along the way.
One of the motors broke off, and then it messed up the propeller to the other barge, and we just drifted.
But in the end, the yield makes it worth it. And the crews have gotten better at it.
There have been some improvements to the barge over the years. They just added 20 more feet to it. There are also new pontoons that are more durable, and the man at the helm is now 10 feet higher.
This is so much better.
Robert has 2 children of his own, but says they're not interested in following in his or his father's footsteps. But there may be some hope at keeping it in the family out in the field.
Do you like having your sister along?
Sometimes.
I guess we'll have to check back in another 30 years. On the Susquehanna River, Katelyn Smith, WGAL News 8.